Baylor women's volleyball has released their non-conference slate, which finalizes the entire 2025 schedule. I apologize for looking down because I cannot memorize all this stuff. And I will preface this by saying there's no Big 12 versus Big 10 challenge for this year. Apparently, when you look at the schedule and all this, and the first practice game is against Texas A&M on the road, August 20th at 6 p.m. And all these times listed here are in Central Time. And that's the only one. And I'm not going to even break down their record and anything like that. I'm not even going to include that in a schedule breakdown here. Right after I go over all this, I'll do a schedule breakdown with everything, including the conference as well. So the first 3 games of the regular season are in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. The first game is South Alabama, August 29th at 2:30 p.m. August 30th is at 3:30 p.m. against SMU. August 31st is against LSU, at LSU of course, and that's at 2 p.m. Now the first regular season home game is September 4th against Northwestern at 6 p.m. Then the next day is St. Mary's at 7 p.m. Then September 7th, it's Rice at home at 2 p.m. Then a week later, they actually play Florida at Florida at noon. And I'm going to preface this by saying they have a new head coach. Just want to make that point right now. So who knows how good they're going to be. And it makes sense to go to Florida because you're going to get to play UCF at UCF on September 16th. September 19th, you get to play Texas on the road at 6 p.m. And we do not still know about the times for some of the Big 12 games, apparently. So, then it's Texas Tech at Texas Tech September 24th. September 27th, you get to play TCU and at home at 2 p.m. Then you got Houston at home October 1st at 7 p.m. Then you got Kansas at home at 7 p.m. on October 3rd. And then you got to go back-to-back games in the state of Arizona as in Arizona State, October 8th. We don't know about the time yet. Same thing goes for Arizona, October 10th. Now, October 15th at home is Kansas State at 7 p.m. Then you get to play Cincinnati, October 17th at home at 7 p.m. October 23rd, you get to play BYU at home at 7 p.m. Then you got to go on the road to Iowa State on October 29th. We do not know the time. October 31st on Halloween, you get to play Colorado. Then you get to play West Virginia at home November 7th at 7 p.m. November 9th, you actually play Utah at home, and it's actually at 7 p.m. and not like noon or 1, 2, or 3. But you get the whole point here. Then you do have back-to-back road games. On November 12th, it's Kansas State. We do not know the time yet. Same thing goes for Houston on November 15th. We do not know the time yet. November 20th, you get to play Texas Tech at home at 7 p.m. And then 6 days later, you get to play TCU at TCU November 26th. We do not know the time yet for all those games. So as you could tell, there are no Elite Eight teams from last year. I'll just preface this by saying that. In terms of the schedule here. So, I'm going to break the schedule down now. Like Kansas, I already mentioned some of the Big 12 stuff, but I'm just going to go ahead and reiterate that with the other NCAA tournament teams involved here. So, Kansas 25-5, but round of 32 with a new head coach and no one get to play them once. Utah 25-6, round of 32, you get to play them once. Arizona State 30-3 last year, round of 32. You only play them one time. TCU is 22-8 last year, but that's round of 32, and that's 2 times. Then BYU, round of 64, 19-10, 1 time. Then obviously Texas, you only get to play once. And they were 20-7 last year, and they were just a Sweet 16 team. Now SMU, they were 25-8 last year, but they went to they finished at around a 32 despite hosting the first 2 rounds, kind of like Baylor and some of these Big 12 teams. To be honest, I mean, then there's obviously Florida, 23-8 last year, Sweet 16, but there's a new head coach, like I mentioned. Now Arizona, you only get to play them once, and they're 24-9 last year. And the National Invitational Volleyball Tournament champs, LSU only get to play once. They were 15-12 last year. South Alabama, 15-12 last year. Rice, 19-8. They did not even make NCAAs because they had to win their conference tournament just to make the NCAA tournament. Now Iowa State, you only get to play them once, and they were 10-18 last year. Kansas State get to play them twice. They were 10-17 last year. West Virginia only get to play once, and they were 8-21. UCF has a new head coach, and they were 9-18 last year. Only get to play them once. Cincinnati 14-15 last year, but they have a new head coach. Only get to play them once. Texas Tech, you get to play them twice, and they were 14-16 last year. Houston, you get to play twice, 12-16 last year. Colorado, 13-17 last year, and you'll only get to play them once. Then Northwestern is the worst team, one of the worst teams in the bunch. I mean, they were 5-23 a year ago. And they St. Mary's in California, and they were 10-17 last year. So it's not like the big schedules like the Big Ten and the ACC and volleyball. It's not as daunting. We're gonna have to wait and see what this roster looks like officially when the season gets closer. What the preseason polls look like, both in the Big 12 and nationally. Whether or not Baylor's going to be picked 3rd or 4th, I don't know. And maybe they're ranked. Maybe they are. So we're going to have to wait and see what happens. And I'll go like the ceiling and the floor for the team once I do the roster breakdown at a later date for the 2025 season. So anyways, if you like this content, hit the like, subscribe button. See you guys later on the road to 800 subscribers. Of course, ultimate goal is 1,000 more. So we might this. Of course, like video, comment video really helps YouTube algorithm. Some more people see it. Sharing the video does help as well. So more people can watch. And after watching, and that subscribe, hit subscribe button, free the notification bell as well. And what's funny is, for the SMU match in particular, you're actually going to get to play against a former Baylor player that was there for 2 years, in Avery Carlson. Yeah, she actually left Texas, and she's now at SMU. So wow. And at least you don't have to play any players that transferred out to the Big Ten and all this. So that's fortunate.